Hello to my Virgos. This is Queen Amun Ra coming to you with your general reading. Let's get right into it, Virgos. Let's go. Let's see what's in your cards. All right, Virgos. Let's see what's in your cards. Here we have the King of Pentacles. Here we have the Nine of Pentacles. Here we have the Knight of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles, and also the Eight of Pentacles. So, wow. Here we have the King of Pentacles. Here we have the Nine of Pentacles here. Whoa. All right, let's make some room here. The Knight of Pentacles here. So somebody's been putting a lot of hours into something. You and somebody have been putting a lot of hours into something. Right? In and out of something. So three people, right, have been putting a lot of hours into something. Excuse me. Either you have been putting a lot of work in, right? Or some people have been putting a lot of work into what's going on in your house. So take it whatever resonates with you, okay? This is a general reading, so take only what resonates, okay? So you're about to enter into this new phase of your life, okay? You're about to enter into a new phase of life. You have been working really hard. You see this person on this horse right here? You have been working really hard on something, right? Just trying to get to you're trying to get to financial independence, right? So source is saying you want to keep your vault door closed. So like any access to your what you got going on, like financially, like whatever you got going on, financially, you want to kind of sort of keep all that private, like business, whatever you got going on private, right? All of that, whatever you got going on, keep your business to yourself, right? Whatever you're working on, whatever it is you're working on, you want to keep it to yourself, right? People watch social media, they watch tarot all the time. People assume whatever you got going on behind. You could be watching television. I mean, really, people assume you got stuff going on behind closed doors, but something is very close. See this right here? These two energies right here. Take into consideration it's the holiday season. It's a very sensitive time for a whole lot of people. There's a lot going on social media. I mean, depending on I can't even say depending on what part of the world. There's just a lot going on, period. Social media, it's just a lot going on. So protect your energy. That's all I can say. So anyway, we got 1, 2, but there's a third energy here, right? But somebody is kind of going down a rabbit hole of some stuff, like trying to find out some information about you. So be very careful. I don't know who's trying to find out some information about you, but all right. Could be trying to find out some information about your family, your financial situation, your money. Somebody could have 2 kids. So, or 2 grandkids. So protect yourselves. Like I said, here we have the 6 of Pentacles. That 6 of Pentacles here. So here we have the 2 of Wands. So, looking at your cards, I mean, you have the whole world in front of you looking at your cards, and so source is saying to you, make sure you're balancing, like healthy work-life balance. If you can just kind of balance things out, like somebody could be kind of a workaholic, like pouring more into one area of your life than others. Just trying to keep your calendar I was trying to say, I was trying to say schedule, but it was kind of coming out calendar. Keep your calendar kind of balanced out, like your schedule. Keep your calendar kind of balanced out. So I'm seeing water here. So like healthy work-life balance. If you can just keep that balanced out, right? So yeah, so that it doesn't look like you're treating people like they're a charity, or like they're treating you like a charity, if that makes any sense, right? So you're showing people how valuable they are to you, and you're letting people show you how valuable, y'all know what I'm trying to say. Y'all know what I'm trying to say. So you're letting people know how valuable they are to you, and vice versa. So y'all get it. Yeah. So yeah, there could be a dark energy amongst you that could be quite vain and vengeful, green with envy, and could almost feel like you are kind of a workaholic a bit, and they may think that you're a bit neglectful, and that could backfire on somebody. So you gotta be careful with that. Be real careful with that, because it could come back in a way where somebody will never see it coming. Somebody could be seeing it through something else. Like, so for instance, if you are dating somebody right now and you're so busy going down a rabbit hole trying to figure out something from their past, and you're seeing as spirit come out from their past, sources saying you need to pay attention to that. Like, that's something you need to open your eyes and pay attention to, right? So let me give somebody an example of how that could work in the workplace, right? So if you're in a workplace and you're a workaholic in the workplace, right? And you are like investing so much, into the company. They're getting so much out of you that, let's say now it's the holidays, right? You say, okay, you know what? I want to spend a little time with my family during the holidays, so I don't want to work 16 hours, right? Maybe you just want to work 8 hours, right? And they're looking at you like, we used to you working 16, 20 hours, right? What do you mean you only want to work 8 hours? We need you to work 16 hours like you usually work 16 hours, right? Somebody, source is saying, is calling your attention to that, because something is calling your attention to that. Maybe you need to take a break. Some source is saying maybe you need to take a break, because something is calling your attention to something. Something is calling your attention to some energies that almost is like they have this it's two energies. It's like source is calling your attention to gold digging energy. It's this entitlement to you to almost work your fingers to the bone, that when you're not overworking, it's just you're expected to do it. So I don't know who that's for, but you're expected to do it. So for some people, it can make you feel very much alone when you're not doing it. It can make you feel like you're talking to yourself. It's like, okay, when you're not doing it, because something is all about money. So when you're not doing it, then you can feel very much alone. But when you are doing it, you can feel very much like, oh, you're part of something, right? Because somebody doesn't see their worth, right? So there could be a lot of tears when you're not overgiving, right? That's what a lot of people feel like when when they have been taken advantage by gold diggers, which is not gender specific, right? So you may hear people, men and women, say, oh yeah, when the money ran out, or when I wasn't making as much, then they just took off. You hear that. It's not age specific, it's not gender specific, it has nothing to do with looks, none of those things, nothing to do with it, right? People can hear all kinds of stories until people start saying, "Oh no!" When the proof is in the pudding, when people say, "Oh no, I was working this kind of job. I was working for this particular agency. During this time, I was making X amount of dollars." So now, when the truth comes out, and you hear, "Oh, they didn't say that part. They didn't tell that part, that truth, right? Oh, I didn't know that part, right?" So Source is trying to prevent some tears ahead of time for somebody, and knowing your worth, right? That's what Source is trying to tell somebody. Is like, there's two energies. It's actually a third. It's like a silent energy that somebody can't see. Is as soon as you slow down, whether you're moving into retirement, whether you are just kind of sort of move into a slower pace, or maybe the holidays will be a time to slow down, to kind of sort of start noticing some stuff like, okay, like I said, it's a third energy involved. So it's time to start adding some structure and authority to some things and start. So it's just trying to get somebody to stop being impulsive. Oh, I got this. I'll take care of that. I'll do this. Let me handle that. I'll take care of this. So it's just trying to stop somebody from being so impulsive, just going along with the flow, so that you don't have to find out on the back end when you're crying, like, oh my God, I didn't see this. So here we have the Knight of Pentacles. So that's what Source is trying to help somebody learn how to do, is like, okay, it's time to start testing out your worth with energies. Now it's time to start saying no. Now it's time to start saying no sometimes. That's what Source wants somebody to learn how to do. Time to start saying no sometimes. Right? And you'll be moving on from some disappointments. Right? You'll be disappointed to hear what the response is sometimes, right? And how you're going to feel judged. It's like, oh, wow. Like, really? Yeah. You're trying to break generational cycles, chains, and curses. You're not trying to invoke nightmares. You're just trying to break generational cycles, chains, and curses. Right? That's what Source is trying to do. That's what Source is trying to help somebody learn how to do, is like break generational cycles, chains, and curses of just because they're looking at it as like right now somebody could feel like they're King of Pentacles, and I'm talking to men and women. You could feel like you're King of Pentacles. You could feel like, okay, you're getting a steady, however frequently somebody's getting paid. You could feel like whether you're an entrepreneur, you get paid every day, or you're getting paid bi-weekly, once a month, however often you're getting paid. You feel like, okay, but at some point, somebody may feel like, okay, things may kind of slow down. You may be thinking about multiple streams of income. So it may not be as like flowing. It's, whatever. Somebody may be slowing down in that way, right? Somebody wants to start paying attention to some things now. Start paying attention to some things now. Right? Here we have the Page of Cups here. Yeah, start paying attention to some immature comments about people now. Start paying attention to some stuff right now. Do people trade people in for a younger version? Whether it's a man or woman, doesn't really matter. Do people trade people in for a shinier new version of something? So somebody's getting ready to be determined to find out what's going on here. Right? So there's an imbalance going on. So somebody is now getting ready to go on a journey. You see this like happens on jobs, but it actually happens in personal lives too, right? It happens on jobs. Like sometimes on jobs, people will say, "Oh, it's called." I heard this attorney on Instagram age discrimination. So this attorney was talking about it on Instagram one day, like this creative ways and how like people get people out of jobs when they feel like, okay, this person is just, they moving too slow, they, we want to get them out of a job or some kind of way, I forgot. But anyway, but it's the same thing. Like when a person wants to get you out of a relationship, they say, okay, the money is kind of slowing down a little bit, it's not going as, time to move on, right? So somebody is starting to see, somebody will trade you in for a newer version, right? But there's a lot to it, right? You got to first of all see, you got to look at it as like, okay, let me see how I can put this. Because I'm seeing a lot of money here in the cards here, right? So we got the King of Pentacles here, right? Right. How can I put this? So classic, when people look at gold digger energy here, and I'm gonna kind of speed this up and close it out. Classic gold digging energy would look like older man, younger woman, right? Older man makes more money, younger woman less money, less brings less to the table, less money, whatever, right? Less earner, right? Older man, more money or less. Makes more money. Younger woman, I guess, makes less money. I don't know, whatever the situation is, right? But what if it's the opposite? What is the opposite, right? Again, if people are looking at just the physical part, right? What if it's just the opposite of something, right? What I'm looking at here could be, it's two situations here. Two situations here that source is trying to call your attention to. Actually, it's three. It's a third energy in the middle, but source is trying to call your attention to something. Source is trying to call your attention to something because you all are very meticulous, and source is trying to call your attention to a pattern here, a pattern of behavior. So source needs you to pay attention to something, because something right now isn't making sense to you. Something isn't making sense to you. All you're hearing is that somebody's a nightmare. That's all you're hearing. And I know that because the number 3 is people talking. That's all you're hearing is somebody's a nightmare. That's all you're hearing, right? But the reason why it's not making sense, because something is imbalanced. You're like, okay, wait a minute now, hold on. Something doesn't make any sense. So something is not making sense. Something is not making sense. Is the 8 of Cups. So in your spirit, there feels like a bait and switch. Like something is like, something don't make sense. Something just don't make sense. And you would be right. So I'm talking to men and women, Virgos tuned in. It would be like somebody saying about you, Virgo, that you're a gold digger. Would that make sense? As the source is saying. Would it make sense? Sitting on your throne. So that's what source is trying to tell you. Would it make sense? Somebody said you're a gold digger. And I'm talking to men and women. So you're tossing something to a burning bowl. You're going out and getting you're doing some sunbathing. You're kind of getting out and getting some sun. It's like you and somebody like, okay, it's time to get some sun. Like something don't make sense. Something don't even make sense. So yes, the source is rewarding you for moving on from something, like taking the high road. Something just doesn't make sense to you, right? And just moving on from some disappointment, moving on from past disappointments. Like moving on from talking about something. Like, so it's like, okay, it just don't even make sense. It just don't, let's just stop talking about it. Let's just move on, right? But somebody's gonna feel like a whole new lease on life. Somebody's gonna feel like a whole new lease on life. Somebody's just like, okay, this just don't even make sense. Let's just stop talking about it. Right? Let's get back to work. Yep. Because some things don't make sense when you really sit down and analyze things. When you really sit down, like when you come across some new information, because it look like you got a lot. Somebody has some physical like information. Something just don't make sense. You start looking at paycheck stuff. Let's say you're looking at paycheck stubs. You start looking at like, wait a minute now. Something don't make sense. Then you start thinking about dark energies. You start thinking about like, like how dark some organizations are. You start thinking about how judgmental some energies are. And you start saying, yeah. That's where you start saying, yeah, you can relate to certain things. You're like, yeah, okay. It don't even make any sense. So this is the I feel sign, right? So something is like, something like you said, you got a feeling something is out of balance. Like something, that's like when somebody says, okay, something don't even feel right. So that's why you and somebody just decided, y'all moved on. They moved on from the disappointment. So anyway, heart chakra cleanse, pray and meditate. It's time to dream even bigger. It's time to open up your vault. So whoever this energy is, they want to call you and apologize. Your laughter is medicine to somebody. So yeah, he apologizes for betraying you. So whoever he is, I don't know who he is, but more money is coming in soon. But heal people just move differently. But so somebody's in a crisis right now. But third eye chakra cleanse. There are signs all around you. Yeah, take a leap of faith. Yeah, everything in moderation. You're protected by angels. Yeah. So you're just starting to see things clearly now. So just pray for them. That's it. If you want to. I can't tell you what to do. I'm just reading what's on the cards. Take only what resonates with you. Sometimes just FYI, sometimes readings don't apply directly to people. Sometimes just FYI, because I know a lot of people will watch readings. Sometimes they actually apply to, they may resonate with somebody that is related to you. That's somehow, let me just say, that's somehow connected to you. Sometimes they resonate with those energies and you may pick up on something. So source may have, as the moon gets closer and closer, more and more illuminated, you may have downloads and dreams about somebody that's connected to you. Somehow, they don't even have to be blood related to you. So, yeah, so it's two energies in particular, that just kept talking about somebody being a nightmare. Yeah, I kept talking about some energies being a nightmare. I kept talking about people being a nightmare. And so anyway, he tossing some things into a burning bowl. Tossing some things into a burning bowl and moving on. And that's the source is rewarding you for moving on. Source is rewarding you for just moving on. So look at the big picture. Yeah, look at the big picture. Sagittarius could be significant to somebody. Maybe, maybe not. Maybe source is just saying you're feeling lucky. Looking at the big picture, Jupiter connects us to good luck, good fortune, right? Forgiveness, I forgive myself. I'm healing from past trauma. I release all guilt. I forgive hurt done by others. I accept that I cannot change the past. Anger does not control my mind. I release all sadness. I'm grateful for every experience. I'm stronger because of my challenges. So, yeah. So it's saying stop talking about nightmares because that's invoking them. Stop talking about nightmares. Every reading is not going to resonate with you. Some of these readings resonate with people that you know. So reduce the social media time. It's so much stuff going on social media. Anything on social media can resonate with people. Literally anything. It's so much going on. You can find yourself looking up 3 hours later, still watching stuff on social media. Number 7, I am brilliant. So you possess a very refined mind and a deep urge to uncover life's mysteries. Your ability to acquire vast knowledge on both the informational and spiritual planes gives you a greater awareness than most. Yep. All right. All right. Yeah, so individuality. Every person has their own personalized study plan in this Earth's school. Yes. That is the double truth, Ruth. Yep. So that's what I have for you. That is it, and that is all. Protect your energy. Yeah, source is rewarding you for moving on, taking the high road. You're trying to break generational cycles, chains, and curses. Really, somebody could be a part of a dark, organization, just dark entities. They just be jumping to conclusions about you, just going to be working like a workhorse, not going to notice anything. Like, you just be working, don't notice a thing, right? So something could be, disappointing when you slow down and just see, oh, these energies trying to invoke a nightmare. They trying to cause a nightmare. Like, what? So, yeah, the nightmare would have been like you would have been by yourself. You were just noticing, okay, oh, you've been just working, huh? Okay. Yeah, working only to be replaced. So, but that is what I have for you. I will see you all in the next video. Bye.